Hi, y'all. This is House Guest, and I am your host, Kenzie Elizabeth. Think a Gen Z wannabe Martha Stewart meets Dolly Parton trying to live in a Nancy Meyers movie in her 20s. We talk all about life, relationships, navigating your 20s, closing at the bars, or waking up at 5 a.m., depending on our vibe that week. Ultimately, living our best lives and figuring it out along the way. So come hang out. Sometimes I have guests on who do really cool things, some of my best friends, or it's just me and my house that I spend way too much time in. So let's get into the show.
Lights, camera, bitch, smile. Why? He said, I can do it with a broken heart.
Oh, wow. That was so good.
Thank you. I think, honestly, that's how you should start the show.
Okay.
Lights, camera, bitch, smile.
Okay.
Taylor
Lights,
Swift.
camera, bitch, smile.
Thank you.
Last week, I was in a CBM, which is a certified bad mood.
Oh.
Yes. I mean, I'm honestly always in a CBM these days.
Type shit.
Yeah. It's been, low vibrational lately,
been low
as Dom would say.
vibrational.
But we were looking at ways to get it up because I was trying everything to get my CBM up. And maybe that's it. Maybe if I were to just start off saying it, that would do something for me.
Yeah. Lights, camera, bitch, smile. I could do it with a broken heart. Taylor ate that song.
No, she really did.
She really did. And honestly, I think if we were to talk about any intro that's ever been done on this show, any intro that I've done from beginning to just honestly even now, I just want to set the record straight for maybe some people who might be new listeners and think that Kenzie has a different kind of co-host right now. I don't know. There's some person on here who comes on here. I think their name's Lacey or Maddie or something I really can't remember. But anyway, she like comes on here and like people have been joking and saying like that's her co-host and stuff. And I really want to set the record straight. And if you're OG, you would know. The bitch is back.
The bitch is back.
And
the Wicked Witch of the West.
No,
she's back.
It's giving lights, camera, bitch, smile.
It is.
Like I'm so back. But anyways, I just want to like set that record straight. To Lacey, Mady, whatever your name is, like
Mady and not Maddie or Macy is crazy. That's not even a name.
No, just kidding. Like, love in the chat.
So there's like a little bit of beef there.
There is a little bit of beef, and I'm just like,
but like only when I'm involved.
Yeah, like I'm just like, it's really like not cool. We had that run-in in our group chat.
What run-in?
Where Macy like sent a text message and I told her like, you know, just I'm not messing with her. And then she replied in the group chat and she said, not with Kenzie in here.
Oh.
And I just thought that was like a really weird, snappy response. Totally. So I'm just like not messing with Macy Thompson right now.
Do you think that you or Macy have been on more episodes?
I think at this point it's been Macy, and
I kind of don't think so.
It might be.
You've got like 4 years on her.
That is true. And if there happens to be a chance, which I highly doubt, that Mady like has like a little bit more on me, it would probably be because proximity, right?
Totally.
Like I would charge that to proximity because we all know that if I was just like closer by, who would like be more regularly on the show?
Totally.
You know? Like it's just like you're like a 3-hour flight away. She's like down the street.
She's
like,
a 3-minute drive.
She's a 3-minute drive. Like what is a girl to do?
Totally.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah, girl. So just think about that. No, just kidding. But I actually love Macy. No, just kidding. Take that out. I know.
Please edit that out.
Please edit that out. I don't like
that's
her.
Fair. That's fair. You know what is like the best quality that I have is that I always have the funniest friends.
You really do.
There's not one person that has funnier friends than me. And I'm not that funny. It's the people around me.
No, it's really giving like jester. Like if you were like a queen back in the day, you would have definitely had like a lot of like the best like court jesters for sure.
Totally. See, I don't really know where you're going with that. I think it's nice.
No, that's what I mean. Like it is nice. I just mean like, you know, like some queens would have like appreciated the opera. Some queens would have appreciated like art. You would have like employed every single jester. In England. Like if that was what we're talking about, like your matriarchy would be employing jesters.
You know what my theory on this is? Why I have funnier friends than everyone else? Because I laugh at everything.
You really do.
Every single thing. And so funny people love me because I laugh at everything. And I know this to be true because one of my besties growing up, Alex Golick, she said that her favorite quality about me is that I laugh at everything she says. It's not even funny. So I really think that that's why I have so many funny friends, because I must just be like a breath of fresh air for them to be around.
No, it's so true. And like sometimes to our detriment, because because Kenzie laughs at everything, like sometimes people who aren't the funniest really gain their confidence and think.
And sometimes I'm laughing at them and they don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. So they really just gain the confidence to think that like they can keep going. And I'm just like, sometimes we need to hit that IRL mute button.
Yeah, and I think that happens mainly with men because they especially don't know that I'm laughing at them and not with them.
110%.
So I think that's actually what's going on there.
Yeah. And they really need a mute button bad. But
bad.
Yeah. It's one thing that I'm trying to work on recently. It's just like not being so snappy to men. Like we
got in an argument about this last night.
I'm really trying to
and you know what? Dom actually right before this apologized to me and said I was right. So
no, Kenzie really is right. I am trying to start believing like, sorry, it's gonna take me a second. Not all men are evil. Just because like a lot of them are, and I know they all aren't, but it's just like, you know, a belief system that I'm trying to like break apart. But it's really hard. Like historically, especially when I would be under the influence of Casamigos or Fireball, I would historically Casa himself, like to his Casamigo, like
or a Rodka.
Or a vodka.
A vodka was really doing something to
would
Dom.
Set me off like a rocket.
Yeah, like
set me off like a rocket through the bar.
Dom's vodka phase was like a phase that I never even want to touch with like a 10-foot pole again. Like we are so far past that in our lives. She probably had one last weekend, but like we did too much.
We did too much, and I think about it. You know what's so funny? I had friends in town who were like visiting me, and one's 21, the other one's 23, and they're in there like, let's go out, let's rage, let's party. And I was like, oh my gosh, girls. You know what's so funny? They actually used to be my youth students.
Love
that for me.
And the ministry continues.
So anyways, of course I have to take them out to all the spots, all the places. And they're like drinking all this stuff. I can like barely sip alcohol anymore. Like I really don't drink anymore. We stayed out till like 2:30 a.m., got home like 3. I had to rot the whole day on the couch. They went to the Melrose Trading Post. They went to the Grove. They went to all these places.
Like my head hurts thinking about that.
And I literally, like, the youth are so alive and well.
No.
Like, I was literally...
The youth are the future.
The youth are the future. I was so unwell, literally sitting on the couch, rotting away. You would have literally thought I needed an IV. I didn't have a lick of alcohol. I was just exhausted from being out so late.
Because there was a year where I was regularly getting IVs.
You were.
And by the way, I'm never getting an IV again because they're actually really dangerous. And my dad like forced me to never do that again. Yeah. But yeah, like I got an IV like it was like fucking my Friday coffee.
No,
like, it was crazy.
You were normalizing IV culture.
Yeah, I really was.
You were like normalizing IV culture. It was really crazy. And you know what's so funny too? The real reason why I never wanted to get IVs was because I have really small veins. And I would always get so embarrassed about the fact that like they usually can't find my vein.
You were embarrassed about that?
Yeah, because then like
the things you choose to be embarrassed of, and then the things you choose to not be embarrassed of are just so crazy to me. Like that,
I'm like,
that's embarrassing to you?
Yeah, like if it has to go in your hand or like sometimes your foot.
Ooh,
yeah.
I'd be embarrassed if it had to go in my foot.
I mean. Like it's humiliating.
Like that's kind of, you know what's crazy? I just had a flashback too. I'll never forget the day that we were at the bar and someone was getting Dom a drink and asked what she wanted, and she said she wanted a vodka water, and then. Because she hadn't really drank before. Like, this was Dom and I met in like a weird like Christian college that it's just the story for another day. And I grew up, like I drank before that. Like I was like, I had my wild phase before that. Yeah. Dom was like holy, you know, cross youth students, whatever.
Mind, like before that, like I had probably drank like once my freshman year of high school and I drank whipped vodka.
Yeah.
So that's like all I knew. Like I had no context of what a proper drink was.
Yeah, so we're in Dallas and then the first drink she orders and gets is a vodka water. And then she just like kind of stuck to that for a little bit. And then I finally realized what you were doing. And I mean, it was dark.
It was dark. And you know what's so funny too? I was pretty much just drinking like vodka water and like lemon juice because I would ask for like 3 limes or like 3 lemons and literally stab it with my straw and then sip really fast.
That time of our lives was actually pretty fun though.
Yeah, it really was. And I miss it. I just like actually can't keep up. Like one day like that literally takes me out
for 4 days.
For 4.
I'm
like
done.
I actually can't hang. I can't handle. I'm like stressed out. I'm like going and having like PR trips and having to like do a State of the Union and address everyone and apologize.
You had to like hire a publicist on retainer. immediately.
Fully. I just like people who like don't get embarrassed, like anxiety. I think they're so brave. I
actually think that they're crazy, Tess.
No.
Oh, she has no anxiety. It's insane.
Remember that person? We went to a birthday party and there was this person who low-key got blackout, and I had to, like, they got blackout on the bathroom floor.
It was really bad. And keep in mind, like, we had just met this person.
Yeah. I, like, had no idea really who they were. They called a number that said, do not call, all caps, literally 90 times. I'm not exaggerating.
I think the actual number was 31. Like, in all seriousness.
Yeah, like, they literally called that person way too many times. And we're trying to Uber to that person's house. Like, I was like, hey.
And
like,
they're not answering the phone.
They're not answering the phone. It's so terrible. They're trying to Uber to that person's house. I'm like helping them get out because it was this person's birthday. And I was like, dude, this is like not a good look. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
And someone ended up taking one of our friends.
We're in a different city. Like, neither of us live there. So we were like, oh my God.
It was so bad. One of our friends ends up taking them home. And that was a shit show in and of itself. The next day, I think they literally sent me a TikTok.
Cricket.
They didn't apologize. They were like, oh, I'm so sorry for last night, whatever. Had no anxiety when like anxiety would have made sense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I want to live my life more like that.
No, honestly, that's inspiring.
No, it's really inspiring.
I will have anxiety like 9 months later. Like I will still think about things and be like, oh my God. Yeah, no way.
Yeah,
that was really crazy. Because the whole time we're like, oh my God, she's gonna be so embarrassed tomorrow. Like I feel like, you know, when you like when someone has a really bad drunk night out, I honestly just feel bad for them because like everyone's gonna do something stupid and everyone, like, I don't know. I just like, I'm like, whatever. So I just kind of felt bad by how embarrassed I thought she was gonna be and how much she was gonna have to apologize to you.
Yeah.
And then when like your phone was crickets the next day.
No, it was literally crickets. I think like, I'm not even kidding, like a week later or maybe like either that day or like a couple of days later, they deadass sent me like a random ass TikTok.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if this is you trying to break the ice. I'll take it.
No, I think that they truly just like didn't even remember. But also like some people are in friend groups that are just like that. Mm-hmm. And that is so normal for them. Whereas like we don't really do that. No. So for us, like if something like that happens, it's a really big deal. We're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, whatever. But when you are in a group that really normalizes that, there's really no apologizing because you guys are all doing it all the time. Yeah,
because just like, whatever, who cares?
There's no embarrassment.
No, it was honestly one of the bravest things I've ever seen in my whole entire life. Yeah. And I just think we should be more like that.
But I like her thought process. I like where she went with that because she just didn't care and was just like, whatever. Like, I think it's nice to apologize to the person, but clearly she wasn't like sitting around hibernating like we would have for the next 6 months. And I actually think that that's probably better mental health.
No, literally, like, charge it to the game. Like, you know, she just charged it to the game. She was like, I had a crazy night out, and I chalked that up to that.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, me, you know, in one of the last times I drank and, like actually had, like, a time where I was, like, in a drunken state and unwell, could barely remember how to get home, I thought I sent my address, like, was typing my address into Uber, and I typed my address to the guy I was hooking up with.
Oh my God.
He showed up at my house as I'm getting out of my Uber. I'm like, what are you doing here?
You're like, fancy seeing you here.
No, I'm like, I literally was like, what are you doing here? And he was like, you text me your address. Yeah. It was not my hottest moment.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
He's literally a sweetheart. I passed out. I was like drunk in my bed. He like got me water. And I woke up. He was watching Jersey Shore.
That's crazy. When I'm drunk, I realized that I just text like a guy almost. Like I'm very like short, almost like you're texting your dad and he says K, but it doesn't mean anything by it. You know what I mean? Like okay, this is kind of weird. I mean, it's actually not that crazy given how small Nantucket is. So it's like really not wild at all. But we were flying to Nantucket and we were on like an 8-seater plane. And the guy next to me, I remember being like, oh, he's cute. But I was like, is he cute or is he my age and on a flight with me, you know?
Yeah.
And really so I wasn't like paying attention. And I was taking photos because there was like this crazy thing out the window and whatever. So I looked like I'd never been on an airplane before, right? But it was like a really like sentimental, meaningful
it was
thing.
Beautiful. It
wasn't
cool.
like that, but it looked like I'd never been on an airplane before. And I was showing my sister and my dad like the photos because they were on the other side. Anyways, we're at the box last night that I'm on Nantucket, which is like their dive bar. It's the most fun place in the entire world. This guy comes up to me and he was like, oh my God, I sat next to you on the flight or whatever. And he actually was cute from what I remember. Keep in mind, this is like probably the most I've drank in 9 months at this point this night. So like the verdict is still out. Honestly, like he could still not even be cute, but he got my number and he was texting me after. And then I went home and then I looked at the text the next day and I was like, oh my God, I sound so rude, but I'm just so like matter of fact. I didn't mean it like in a rude way. I'm just so like matter of fact. Because it's like I can barely do anything. So like I'm not getting like an explanation point. You know what I mean?
Wait, where does he live?
You see, I don't remember that.
Let's look at his zip code or like his area code on
We really don't need to do that.
Why not? Let's find him.
No, I don't need to do that. I also think he was like 25.
How?
I'm 26.
You're so ridiculous,
It's like
bro.
kind of a big deal.
You know what? I saw this.
I'm not like into that vibe.
That's crazy. I saw this girl on TikTok. She was talking about going on a first date, and I was really trying to root for her. Like, I really was trying to root for her. She was going on a date. She's 32, and she was like, I think I'm getting ghosted. So, you know, everyone was in her comment section we were staying in the video in solidarity, like, ready to ride for this girl, like, getting ghosted, so ghetto. And she literally was like, yeah, I got ghosted. For my first date, he was supposed to do my taxes. Crazy. And she was like, yeah, he's like a finance bro. He's 23.
Okay, well.
I was like, okay, you're going to hell. Then she was like, I don't know why he didn't show up, like all this stuff. And then at the end, she's like,
he's a 23-year-old finance bro.
At the end, she literally goes, I mean, the only thing I think is the reason why he didn't show up was he was texting her being like, oh, like, you know, you're going to look so good tonight. Love, he said, you're gonna look so good tonight, love. And she was like, love? Don't you think it's a little early for you to be calling me love?
Oh my God, I have a friend who just did this recently on accident.
And I literally was like, no, you're L number 2. And then he was like, no, like I was just saying that like as like a, you know, like a nickname, like people do that. And she was like, yeah, I just think it's a little too early for that. And I was like, you were gonna let this man do your taxes?
Yeah.
But he can't call you love?
If this man is doing your taxes, he can call you wife.
He can literally call you,
honestly.
Because that's like some husband shit. Like,
yeah, that's crazy.
And also he could be a scammer. He could steal your social security number.
I have a friend who was just going on a date with someone, and they asked, like, do you like spicy food? And she replied, yes, love, as in like, yes, I love the spicy food. And it was date number 2. He's like, love, wow, whatever. And then he kept going on and on for like an hour or 2 calling her love. And she was like, and this friend is like very like bashful is how I describe her. She's not like, she's like so funny. She's so perfect, beautiful, cute, amazing. But she's not like that would make her, like, any embarrassment like that would make her, like, literally crawl under her bed. So she's calling me, and I'm with my dad, and she knows my dad well, and we're, like, crying. We're laughing so hard.
That's so
my dad
funny.
saw her recently, and he was like, her name, Love.
Oh my God.
She finally had to fess up, though, but I was like, oh my God, good to know. So, guys, don't ever reply, yes, love. Like, say, yes, I love, because apparently men are dumb.
Yes, comma, love.
Yes. No, yes, comma, love could still be like, yes, comma, Connor.
Oh,
that
got you.
That actually kind of sounds
yes.
rude.
I love it. Say,
yes, I love you.
Yeah. You should honestly forget everything we're saying. Just hard launch. Like, just say, like, I literally love you. One of my friends is going to do that this summer. She's going to start, like, hard launching, like, first dates.
Okay.
Like,
oh, I like that. That actually would be a really good concept for like an Instagram page that then develops into a podcast.
Yeah, her Instagram page is like already unhinged, but she's just
It needs to just be about that though.
No, she's literally gonna just start doing that.
I had lunch, like a business lunch with a girl once who was her goal was to go on like 52 dates in a year. And we were together in maybe like April or May, and she'd already gone on 100. It was insane. I'm like, I can't even go on one a year. Like,
52 dates?
How draining. I think she was traveling. She was in Dallas, and she'd already gone on like 2 or 3 that week.
What?
I know, like, honestly, managing that, like, you need like admin for your Hinge. Seriously. Like, how do you do that? Like, they need to be sending you Google Cal invites.
No, like, Kenzie needs admin for her Hinge, and she goes on there like once a quarter.
Yeah. Well, my Hinge was recently accidentally set to non-monogamy, so I think that we're done with that.
I think that is genuinely one of the funniest things that's ever, just in the context that you live in Dallas, Texas.
And I'm me. Like, I am pretty traditional. Like, I'm not.
No, that's what I mean. Like, like I just like that. I'm like, you.
Like, Dom will tell me things that are like happening, and also keep in mind, I'm actually like a very progressive, open-minded. Like, I'm not like that, but Dom will just like tell me things that are going on, and I'm like,
too much for me.
No, and I'm literally like, I don't even want to be a part of this conversation. Like, I don't even want to know the things that are going on in this godforsaken city because they're so out of touch with reality. I just can't.
I literally had my first lesbian run-in. And it was genuinely, no, let's talk about it. Because we don't want to talk about Bruno. Like, I had my first lesbian run-in, and it was so jail that I was literally like, honestly, lesbians might be more toxic than men. Dead ass.
You know what? I think that actually might be true.
I think it might be true, and this is why. I went to this night, like this little, like, you know, like, ooh, turn up, whatever. And it's like this night called Honey's. If you know, you know, and you live in Los Angeles. Whatever. I went to a Honey's night. I went with a group of, there was like 3 girls in my group. 2 of the girls I'd never met before. I get there. I'm hanging out. This girl comes up to me. She's talking to me. All this stuff. Whatever. I'm like, okay, you're pretty cool. Like, whatever. We're just like chatting. She starts telling me how she moved to Los Angeles with her girlfriend. They're broken up. And at the end of the month, she's moving out of that house, but they still live together. That girl that I'm talking to, let's call her
Barbie.
Barbie came there that night with a different girl. Okay? Like, they live with their partner or their ex-partner, came with a different girl. One of the girls I came with, let's call her Maxine. Maxine walks past us, and she was holding hands with the girl that Barbie came with.
Oh, wow.
And as Maxine's passing us, Barbie goes, oh, you see that girl? I came here with her, but I actually want to friend zone her. Like, I didn't even like her. She's like, actually, you're like my type. Like, I like you. Like, da 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 da. And I was like, so everyone's okay.
No, but also like her thinking that you'd be like down after that.
I was
after
like,
she's like saying all this
after
stuff.
you like like I just met you, you're like trauma dumping to me.
No,
about,
you're like, and I was.
I know, and I was like, you know what? You're kind of bad. So I was just like, okay, this is crazy. So she walks out. We go outside. Maxine's now making out with the girl that Barbie came with, just on the street, shameless. Wow. We live in a broken city.
Shameless.
Like, just shameless.
Yes.
And she was just like, dude, I can't even believe that. Like, whatever. Like, that's so crazy. Honestly, ended up working out for me, though, because, like, again, like, I was trying to friend zone her, like, whatever. She grabs my hand. She takes me inside. I'm literally like, why? No. I've seen this play before, and I didn't like the ending. Like,
I've seen this
film before. Like, I was just like, don't do this to me right now. So I ordered my Uber. Because I'm literally like,
you mean business?
Yeah, I'm like, I need to get out of here. Like, She was trying to come home with me. Like, I was like, that's not happening tonight. That's not happening tonight. It's not happening like this. It's not happening.
But it might happen next week.
But it might. I don't know. And I don't know. I can't. She kisses me. Why are you gonna kiss me?
Where did you get that?
Where did you get that vibe from? You. Now we're in a poly clue. We're in a poly pocket clue. We're all just in a polygamous family.
Can you define poly clue for my listeners? Because if I can guarantee you anything, like they don't know. I don't even know.
A poly clue is a group of people that date within each other. So like, say
Dom
is
like, not a fan of this, by the way.
Hell no, I'm not a fan of this. I stand on this till the day I die. I don't care. It is like, say there's a group of 6 people. In those 6 people, they all just date each other. It's a clue. It's a poly clue. It's not actually called. It's like
a group chat that fucks.
Yeah.
Okay.
A polycule. I think it's what it's actually called, but I call it poly clue. I call it poly pocket. I don't give a fuck.
Polycule makes more sense than a poly clue.
I just call it poly clue because it's spelled like that, but it's polycule or whatever.
It's so hard to keep up.
Anyways, who gives a shit? Because I ended up accidentally joining one, and I was sick to my stomach. I was like, nah, that's not the vibe. And I left. I just left her in the dust. Like, dead ass, she was like, wait, where are you going? I was like, to the bathroom, and went into my Uber outside.
Do you remember a couple years ago, we actually got into an argument at the Dear Media Studios, and there was this guy who was texting you that I said looks like, you know, the Lovely Bones murderer. And yeah, he was texting Dom. She didn't realize that he was already in like a relationship. And then I was like, all right, we're done with this, Dom. She's like, no, but like they're open, so it'd be fine. I'm like, Dom, you could never be in an open relationship. You are one of the most jealous, like in that context, literally ever. And Dom tried to gaslight me into thinking that she could know. And Dom was like, no, like I really could. Like, Kenzie, you just don't get it. I really could, whatever. And I'm like, you literally could not. We didn't actually get in a fight over that. We got in a fight because she was offended that I said he looked like the Lovely Bones murderer, which he does. Can you admit that now?
I don't think he does, but I could see where you're coming from.
No, like, guys, literally like spitting image.
I don't think so, but if that's what Kenzie believes to be true, then I'm not
It is my truth. And like, if I was able to share this online,
then stand on it, diva.
Well, I can't share his photo.
Obviously, but I'm just letting y'all know, like, personally, I don't think so.
I'm not saying he's bad looking.
No.
He looks like a more slayed, in your terminology, version of the Lovely Bones Killer.
Okay, girl.
That's what the movie name is called, right?
Yes, it is.
Should I check that?
The Lovely Bones.
Okay.
Anyways, all that to say, yeah, I could never be in an open relationship. I also think open relationships, I liked what you said yesterday. It's just cheating with a title.
Yeah.
It literally is just cheating with a title.
Before I get canceled, Dom said they basically just do that so they can cheat. And I said, okay, so it's cheating with the title.
They do that so they can cheat.
I'm throwing her under the bus.
And you know what? If I was ever going to get canceled for something and it's me hating on people who are in poly relationships,
so be it.
I'd take the L on that. Because I'm so sorry. I'm like, girl, just be single. Don't you think I think that's so much better.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop trying to front.
I know.
I just don't understand it. I'll never there's nothing also it's like poly E&M, like poly, like ethical, non-monogamous. The ethical part being that you know who they're with and all this shit, whatever. I don't fucking care.
Like, how do you not have a headache every single day?
It gives me a headache. It makes me literally want to put on a fucking tinfoil hat and literally listen to like Lauren Boebert. Like, I'm dead ass. Like, it sets me off.
You like start playing Hillsong?
No, like I just like not actually like fuck Lauren Boebert, but like
who is that?
She's like some stupid ass like conservative lady.
Oh,
but
I don't even know who that is.
It sends me. It's like it's so left that it's right. It's so right that it's left.
Yeah.
It's like all one big ass circle. I'm literally like, but regardless, it makes me want to like put on a tinfoil hat and talk about the deep state. Like, it makes me
see
unwell.
Most of what you're saying right now, I don't even understand. Like, it's literally a foreign language to me.
And that's okay, girly.
Yeah,
because the ones who know.
No, and it's for the best, by the way, that I don't know these things. Should we tell that story?
Yeah, we can.
If you guys are watching on video, okay, you guys really need to start watching the podcast on video because it's so much funnier. But Dom, you can take it away because Dom just gave a little hand sign, if you will.
I did the hands of liberation, you know, hashtag Black Lives Matter. Because one time, Kenzie and I were in New York City and we were at our friend's show and we left, whatever. We're leaving and it was just a show where like, I don't know. Like, there were a good amount of people who knew us there and stuff. And
there's just a lot of crossover.
Yeah, and we love meeting you guys, obviously. Someone comes up to me. Again, I love meeting you guys. Someone comes up to me, and they're just like...
A white girl.
She has two of her friends there with her. She's like, Dom, oh my gosh, it's so nice to meet you. Like, I just think what you do is absolutely incredible. Like, I can't even imagine what your life has been as a Black woman in society. All this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like, thank you so much. She's crying, literally dry heaving. Like, so much so that her friends literally patting her on her back, being like, it's okay, like, take your time.
Like the white girls who needs the consoling.
Yeah, she's like literally like bawling her eyes out. Her friends are consoling her, being like, it's okay, like, take your time, like, get your words out. She was like, I can't believe like what Black people have gone through. Like, it's crazy. It's an abomination, like all this stuff. And I'm like, yes, I would say so. Like, thank you, girl, whatever.
This is like spring 2021 too.
She dead ass, like so dead ass serious, sobbing, dry heaving. Her friends are patting her on the back. She puts her fist in the air. Black liberation, come on. She puts her fist in the air and she literally goes, but I stand beside you. But I stand beside you.
Oh my God.
SNL
can't write this shit.
Can't write this shit. And Diva, if you are listening to this right now, what you need to do, quit your job. Get into the writer's room because you have a job. You have a job writing skits. That genuinely was one of the most dystopian, funny ass moments of my life. Like, you could never recreate that. I walked away from that moment just being like, what just happened to me? But also, I was so weak. Like, I was walking ahead of her. So Dom and I like never walk at the same speed. No, Kenzie like runs.
But we were running because we were going to the after party. So we were trying to get out of there really fast. And I thought Dom was with me. And then I turned back and then all of a sudden, I had to ask Dom last night when we were telling someone else the story. I'm like, I can't remember if you were like crying, like wheezing crying because you were like laughing so hard. Like,
no, I was laughing so hard and I just like couldn't believe. I was honestly just like, I wish you witnessed that.
I know. I really do. Well, actually, I'm glad that I didn't because I wouldn't have thought it was funny in that moment.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I would have like read how you were responding to it, but I think I would have been like, we have to leave.
Anyone, regardless, would have literally been like, this is so whack attack.
Yeah.
And just so off. Like, I don't have the words.
I don't think that we would have been able to get the comedy out. Like, I think it would have, maybe
in the moment, it would have been stark. It was stark in the moment.
Yeah. Okay.
And then when I processed it, I was literally just like, I felt like I was a part of an SNL skit.
Yeah.
Like, that is genuinely an SNL skit. Like, that was so good.
That was really crazy.
She ate that. She ate that hard. She ate that real
Do you think
good.
she like still follows us? Did she follow? Well, she follows you. I don't know.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
I hope so.
I wish that you like knew her Instagram.
I know. I wish I did too. Oh, she DM'd me after and sent me
I remember
this
that.
And
No, she didn't. Stop.
No, I said I wish she did, and she sent me like her fist, like a black fist. I would have lived for that.
That was
everything.
That was really out of this world.
Sometimes
people amaze me.
People amaze me. You want to talk about? Let's talk about another time where someone's amazed me.
Okay.
Like, again, this person needs to go into the SNL's writers' room. Let's talk about
segment. People who need to go to the SNL's
people
writers'
who
room.
need to go into the SNL writers' room. My ex, because let me tell you,
Which one?
This last person I was talking to.
Oh my god.
This last person I was talking to, who don't worry is going to HE double hockey stick. Like, Satan's gonna take care of him.
I don't like him.
I don't like him either. Well, actually,
I did a little too much.
I did, but I'm getting vindication through this story.
Good.
So we break up a week before Valentine's Day, whatever, burn in hell.
Oh.
And
I didn't take you as like quite the Valentine's Day kind of girl.
Neither did I. Neither did I. Anyways, like just in time, honestly. So whatever. I don't see him for like 2 weeks. Obviously, no contact. I'm out with my roommate. We do a quick power hour at the club. And I said, I will do a quick power hour in the club with you, and then I'm going home. Because I don't live that life anymore. I'm reformed. I'm a Christian woman. I don't live like
Bring
that.
back Christian values.
Bring back Christian values. I am going to sit my ass at home after an hour in the club, okay? I've changed. So whatever.
You'll repent after the hour.
I'll repent after. He likes going to like a lot of DJ sets and stuff. And so I texted my roommate and I was like, hey, make sure he's not here, right? He's not there, right? He's like, yeah, he's not there. Whatever. We get there. We're having a good time. I'm 30 minutes into my power hour. I turn around. I see his friends.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, gag. Go up to his friends just on, like, I literally had to. Like, if I turned around, they're literally right there. They saw me. And I was like, oh, hey, guys, what's up? Whatever. They were like, oh my gosh, Dom, it's so nice to see you. Let's call him Mark. Did Mark invite you? And I was like, oh my God, Mark hasn't told them that we like stopped talking. And I was just like, anyways, going to the bathroom. Like, I felt so awkward, whatever. Like, maybe like 15 minutes later, I'm in line for the bathroom. One of his friends comes up to me and she was like, oh my gosh, I had no clue that you and Mark broke up. Bold of him to say we broke up, but also
bold of him to say you broke up. Only you're allowed to say you broke up.
Thank you. Yeah. Also, just bold of you to even claim anything. Like, shut up. You're literally a horrible person.
So let me get this straight. You guys broke up to you, but you didn't break up to him.
No, it's just like we weren't even, it wasn't even, like, I just don't.
But you do realize that you're publicly telling like tens of thousands of people right now that you guys broke up, but you're mad at him because he said that.
That's not actually why I'm mad. I was just mad. Honestly, the real reason why I
understand. I would feel the same.
I was peeved because I was literally like, you're telling her we broke up now, 2 weeks after we broke up, and they like, she had no clue. That's the real reason why I was like, bold of you to be like, we broke up. Anyways, ghetto. So obviously he confirmed that he was there. So I was like, okay.
Where were you?
Got to keep an eye out for Selena. I was in like Chinatown.
Got it.
Whatever, at this DJ set in Chinatown. So I end up seeing him, and she was literally like, Dom, he fumbled the bag. Our friend group loves you so much. Can we still be friends? Like, we'll just like not invite him to things.
That is so you, by the way.
And I was just like, this is so vindicating. Like, I was just like, of course your friends are obsessed with me.
Yeah.
And
I kind of did that too.
Yeah, like I was just like, I kind of ate that. So, so whatever. She like got my number and stuff. Kept it there. But I was at that point, I was like, okay, we're probably going to run into each other again.
Oh my God. So you text him to make sure you guys are on good terms?
No, hell no. In that moment.
You're like, no, I call him.
No, I do you one better. I go up to him in person.
Oh my God, Dom.
Because
honestly, that's fine.
Because I was like, we are going to see each other again more than likely. And I'm not going to go up and say hi to you every time. But I do want the vibe to not be so like.
Well, I also, as long as you didn't have like a long chat with him there, and then you're just like, hey.
It was literally just going to be like
That's just being the bigger person.
Yeah, like I was genuinely just being the bigger person, being like, hey, like, you know, whatever. just on some, hey, have you been, chill, I'm fucking leaving type shit.
Mm-hmm.
So go up to him and I'm like, hey, Mark, like, what's up? Like, how have you been? He goes, oh.
He starts pouting?
Yeah.
Oh, there's nothing worse.
Hey, Dom. Hey, Dom. How?
Oh.
Yeah, patronizing me.
You know what I would have done back? I would have been like, oh.
No. Huh? Shut the... I'll knock you out. So he literally's like, oh, Dom, how have you been? I will cut your tongue out. So I literally was just like, yeah, I've been good. Like, how are you? And he was like, oh, you know, I've been. And in that moment, I just genuinely thought he was on drugs. Like, I was like, he's never acted like this a day in his life. Like, I don't know what's happening here. Whatever. So then we have like a literally 2-second conversation after that. It was like so weird, so awkward. The vibe was like foul. And I was like, all right, but like, peace out. Like, the fuck? That was horrendous. That was a horrendous experience. And he literally gives me a hug. And he was like, thank you so much for coming up to me.
I'm like so grossed out.
I was so disturbed. I was literally so disturbed that I left. I was like, you fucked up all the feng shui in this room. Dead ass.
He
Feng
sucked the
shui
air out of it.
off. Feng shui off. Yes.
You can't even be in the same proximity as him anymore because it's just so embarrassing.
Yeah. I was like, diva, you have shit, like the ick times 2. Like, it was so bad. I left. I was like, that really like had my night fucked up.
Not to bring up Macy, but if a man was pouting at Macy, she would honestly probably punch him in the face.
I almost did. I really almost did. The only reason why I didn't was because I was like, would I go to jail, yay or nay? Like, those are just the things I had in debate. Like, I was like, could I get away with this? Could I not? Like, I don't know. Whatever. Vindication's coming. Because I leave, my roommate sees Mark. And my roommate was just being nice. He knows Mark through me, whatever. And just went up to him because he had to, because they were walking past each other. And he was like, oh, hey, Mark. And my roommate's coworker was there. And he introduced his coworker to Mark and was just like, hey, like, this is my coworker. And she didn't hear his name. Like, she was like, oh, what'd you say your name was? He literally goes, oh, I'm that Mark.
Oh, my God.
I'm that Mark.
Oh, my God.
That who?
To assume
so
much.
To assume it's too much for me because that was instant vindication in that moment. And he was like, yeah, I'm that Mark. I just met her that night. That was so cringe.
Did she know about him?
No. Why would she
Even if she did, it's bold to assume.
Even if she did, it's bold to assume that you take up that much time in my life. Because in that moment.
Even if you did.
In that moment, instantly, a fedora popped on his head.
Shut up.
No, like, this is literally what happened. Like,
no, but here's the thing about Dom's life is, like, that would actually happen. Like,
no, like, he might as well have just put on a magical fedora that popped on his head, covered like one of his eyes, and went, and started, like, literally snapping his finger, because that's how fucking corny that shit was. Dead.
That was that Mark.
I'm that Mark. That was literally hands down one of the corniest, most embarrassing things I've ever heard in my whole. It was so funny now, like in our friend group where I was like, yeah, I'm that Dom. Like, you didn't know I'm that Dom? Like, whatever. And I am like, get him in the SNL writers room.
Another one
that needs to go to the SNL writers room. Because I was like, add a fedora to that skit and like him snapping as he says he's that Mark. All right, King, you ate that. I ain't got no notes. I ain't got no notes on that one. You ate that loud and proud.
Don, that's actually like really embarrassing.
No, it's so bad, and it's the only thing that gives me vindication. Because you know me, as a Capricorn, like I need to literally set off an atom bomb, and then I'm like, cool, we're even.
If I've learned anything on my 26 years on this earth, it's that you have to make absolutely no efforts to get vindication post-breakup because the men will do it for you.
The men will do it for you. And
let them work. Let them do what they were created to do by all means.
By all means.
Let them walk in grace.
I was literally like, cook. You cook that so good. Like, literally, you cook that to perfection. Because there's no words. There's no me punching you in the face. There's no nothing. Like, really, really, truly, that could have brought me peace of mind. Like, knowing that you called yourself that Mark. And the girl that you were talking to had no fucking clue who the fuck you were. She literally would have thought, is that Mark your first? Is that your first name? And Mark's your last name?
That Mark, interesting, nice name.
Think about it.
Think about it. That's embarrassing.
It's top 10.
I'm glad that we've moved on from Mark.
Oh, yeah.
We should have moved on from Mark.
You
like
know what's
6
so
months
funny?
ago.
During the retrograde, he came up to one of my friends who he met once and literally goes, "Oh my gosh." I'm surprised. He met this friend deadass once, went up to him, was like, "Oh my gosh, like
I'm that Mark.
Is it you?" Like just going up to him. This friend's deadass only met him once. So much so that he called our other friend and said, "Who is that guy that Dom was talking to?" He literally didn't even remember his name.
Obsessed.
I'm like, so I leave these men shook up.
And he's older too.
He's older too. And I'm like, the best you... He was the best I never had. The best I never had by Beyonce.
Cue it.
Mm-hmm.
Should we move on to people we'd like to rob?
Thank you.